What's going on YouTube? It's your boy STXB3, and in yesterday's video I talked about the top 5 things that I absolutely love about the CTS-V. I forgot to mention a couple of things, but today's video we're going to talk about the 5 things that I absolutely hate about the CTS-V. Now for my future CTS-V owners, these are a couple things that you might want to know before deciding to purchase this vehicle. And for those of you guys that already have a CTS-V, you know the common features that I'm about to mention are a pretty big pain. So I'm going to go ahead and go over a list of these things that I do not like about this car whatsoever. And like I said, I think it's important for you guys to know. I would like to know these things before I buy this vehicle. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys the list of 5 things that I do not like. Now the first thing I want to talk to you guys that I absolutely cannot stand on my Cadillac CTS-V is definitely going to be the queue system. The queue system is something that constantly freezes, it constantly glitches out, and a lot of times will just not respond to you at all. When you're clicking on it, when you're trying to press navigation, music, things like that, this screen will just freeze up on you. A lot of times for these vehicles, they also do start to crack, and you have a cracked screen all the way around. You'll see it amongst several Cadillac owners. One thing that is kind of beneficial to it is covered under warranty, but still a pretty big pain when it comes on to replacing it. You have to wait for them to fix it and whatnot. But overall, a lot of you guys that have CTS-Vs, a lot of you guys that have Cadillacs in general know exactly what I'm talking about. So this is something that you got to be careful for whenever you are purchasing a Cadillac in general. Now the second thing I absolutely cannot stand about Cadillacs in general, or this CTS-V in specific should I say, is going to be definitely the carbon fiber inserts. The carbon fiber inserts on these doors and on the dash, passenger door, rear doors, always seem to have an issue with the glue adhesive that's on there. These things start to peel up, they start to lift, and I've had tint on this car since the very first day that I bought it, so you would think, you know, keeping it in your garage and keeping this thing cooled would keep that intact, but as you can kind of see, these things lift. Now one thing about Cadillacs, they do have these covered under the manufacturer warranty, so if you have under 50,000 miles you can actually replace these, but I already replaced these one time. This is the second time that I've had these on there, and it's something, like I said, that is just bound to happen. It happened the first time, it's now happened the second time, and if you're not careful when you're trying to push this back into place, if you're not sticking it, you can actually crack these things like I kind of did over here on the corner piece there. But here they start to lift up. Over on the dash on that side, they start to lift up as well, and with due time they also start to kind of fade and give you that yellowish look, which, like I said, is something that's covered under warranty, but still yet another pain that they've had amongst a lot of other CTS-Vs. I've talked to a lot of guys that have CTS-Vs already, and they tell you it's the same exact thing no matter what CTS-V you're buying. So be careful and be on the lookout when you're looking to buy one of these cars. That is something that you're going to have to deal with. So if you have the option to do so, try to buy one with lower, less miles, so whenever the time comes that you do have to replace it, it is something that you don't have to pay out of pocket for. Now the third reason why I absolutely do not like CTS-Vs, and I know I mentioned this as one of the things that sells the vehicle to me, but the sunroof has to be one of the biggest things that I just cannot stand, simply because these vehicles, for some reason, I don't know why on Cadillacs in specific with these sunroofs, these things like to make a lot of noise as you're driving. I've taken it to the dealership several times for them to figure out exactly what's going on. Good thing is it hasn't leaked, but apart from the sunroof making noises the worst part about it is these sunshade covers that cover up this glass actually come off the rack, or the rail should I say, a lot of times, and it gets it to the point where it gets all warped. And in this one in specific, I've actually had to replace it twice already. This is the third time, and I haven't replaced it just yet, but I went ahead and just took it off completely, and it's a huge pain, especially once you don't have any kind of manufacturer warranty, because now you have to do these things on your own. You have to drop the headliner, replace the sunshade cover, make sure everything's back in place. But like I said, you're spending $100,000 on these vehicles. It should be something that we shouldn't have to worry about. But I know these CTS-V guys out there, you Cadillac guys in general, you know exactly what I'm talking about. These sunshade covers are a huge pain. So a lot of times, I mean, I'd recommend getting a sunroof, but if you don't want to be dealing with things like that is bound to happen, stay away from it altogether. Reason number 4 why I do not like my CTS-V, like I said, once again, the Recaros are a blessing and a curse, but one thing about these Recaros is that normal wear and tear starts to appear. You start getting a bunch of cracks over on the seats itself. Like I said, they look nice in the car once you open it up, but personally to me, I can't stand it. It's something that I do not like showing, simply because it just looks so bad to me, as it's bound to happen after getting in and out the vehicle several times. But there's not really much you can do with it. You really can't fix these things. I mean, it's just you're cracking on the leather. I mean, you can't fix it really in any type of way, so it's something you kind of just got to deal with. Another big con about having the Recaro seats is you lose out on the heated, not the heated features, sorry, the ventilated features. So you no longer have the ventilated seats. Now if you're somebody like me who lives in Texas or lives in hot weather in general, that's something that's a huge con during the summertime, because when it is very hot outside, you can't get in, you can't have that AC on your seats like you normally would with the traditional seats that come on here. So once again, that's a big flaw again on the Recaro seats. They're great for as far as supporting you and keeping you in. They're not the most comfortable, I'll be honest with you guys, but that cracking on the seats and not having the ventilated feature is definitely a big turn off for me. It's something that I don't like at all. The only really remedy that I think you can get out of this is pretty much replacing the whole seat, but once again, who knows how much that would cost. Reason number 5 why I absolutely want to stay away from this car is simply how much this car costs. It costs a lot of money when it comes down to buying the vehicle, but not only that, if you're buying this car to go compete with other Hellcats and compete with Z06s and competing with other cars in general, Mustangs, Camaros, etc., 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 when it comes down to putting up the power and putting money into this vehicle, everything costs more simply because it's a Cadillac brand. If you're looking for something to go very fast and be the fastest car while putting in the least amount of money, stay away from this car. This is not it. So reason number 5 is definitely the cost overall and how much it costs to maintain this vehicle, oil changes, brakes, etc., etc., etc. Stay away from this vehicle if you're on a tight budget and you don't want to spend any money to compete with the big dogs. So that pretty much wraps up the 5 things I do not like about the CTS-V after about owning it for about 2.5 years. Those are just some of the issues that I've had, some of the issues that a lot of people have as well. So if you're somebody that's debating on going to purchase a CTS-V, go and look for these things on this vehicle. Be careful when purchasing these cars. Those are some things that you have to kind of keep in the back of your mind. And for you CTS-V owners that are watching this video, drop a comment on the things that you do not like about your CTS-V. Maybe you have the same issues that I'm having. Maybe you have your own issues. Drop a comment, let the future owners know what they got to look out for when buying these cars. Apart from that, I want to say thank you guys for watching this video. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already, but I appreciate you guys for watching. I'm going to be posting more content for you guys. So drop a comment, leave a like, let me know what you guys want to see next. Let me know some next video recommendations. Appreciate you guys for watching, and thank you guys.